This is a Shock podcast.
Shock. The C Word with Callista. So when I named this podcast The C Word, I had two things in mind. My name, Callista, the word content, because I'm so interested in creative people, which is also a C word, and how their minds work. So then I met another C word. Not the one you're thinking of, but the one that everybody will recognize just by his hi.
Hi. Hi.
Welcome to the C Word, Ceddy.
Thank you so much for having me, Miss Another C Word. You know, we both have one thing in common, our hair.
I think we have more than one thing in common at this point, but yes, you are right.
Our hair. Do you plan to change your hair color soon?
I've had red hair for like 4 years now.
Stay with it so I don't feel alone.
You know, people recognize my hair more than my face at this point.
It's the same thing. Hey, it's personal branding, okay?
But you're right though. I mean, personal branding is so important, right? Like, and if it's your hair, if it's like something you do, like your signature pose.
Yeah.
I see people doing it all over the place now. They're just like...
I know, I'm such an inspiration. All of you. Find your own signature pose. Stop jacking mine. What's wrong with you?
You're not wrong, but was that meant to be your signature pose or it just happened?
It wasn't. So the thing is, I like to experiment with different styles. Okay, So if you watch my videos, right, sometimes I like to like tinker with, I would say like a little tidbits in my video. So if people catch it, then they will talk about it. So I did that signature pose. I don't even remember how it started. I don't think it was planned, but I rolled with it. And then people started saying that, oh my God, like that's such a cute signature pose. And to me, it's like, okay, if the response is good, we're going to stick with it. And yeah, I've been doing it and some people are doing it.
But it will never be the same, okay? You can copy, but you can never be the OG.
You can copy, but you will never be the OG. Correct.
But there's also like, I think the first time I started seeing your videos was like before you blew up to as big as this lah. And you were already kind of doing that pose. You were doing your commentary, which is like slightly sassy, a little bit like, you know, backhanded. And I think that's what people like because we don't want to just see like, oh, this is nice, go and try.
Yeah, for me, whenever I do a content, right, here's the thing. I think I don't know if it's an ego thing or what, but I don't want to be the same as anyone else. Like you can say there are so many food reviewers out there. Yeah, correct. But there are only a few food reviewers that you will remember. And I want to be the kind of person that will be remembered for something that I have done, you know. The reason why I feel like commentary like that is essential, not the sassy part, okay, or not the backhanded part. Don't be fooled by Miss Callista there. Okay. I think I'm honest.
Yes.
I feel that sometimes we lack that kind of honesty in this industry. Everybody want to put on that wholesome, you know, very nicey persona. I'm like, I'm not gonna go with that route so that I can eliminate people who already decided they don't like me. It's okay, then I'm gonna focus on those who are like you, who appreciate me. Oh! Closet hater detected. Oh, what have I done to you, Callista?
Nothing. I love you so much, and that's why I've been like dying to talk to you. So this was a question that I wanted to ask you later on, but I'm glad like it's like
Okay,
been brought up so fast because you are really blunt and you really have no qualms in like speaking your mind and calling people out when they're like being unfair or they're like, asking you not to be honest. Yes.
When they deserve it, yeah.
Because you do get clients that ask you not to be honest, right? Because I mean,
yes. There are clients who are like, they will have their guidelines, like, please don't say this, but I will always enforce the rule that is, if it is not to my liking, I will not trash talk, but I will be fair about it. I think at this point, I'm also very careful about, you know, not to tarnish their business. Because let's be real here, sometimes when we go somewhere to eat, right, it can be a moment where maybe the chef is not feeling it on that day, you know, or something happened and then the service is not as good. But for me to go all out and be like, oh, please don't come back anymore, knowing my followings and my influence, it can damage their business. But that's not to say that, you know, I'm gonna be 100% nice all the time. If you are like unnecessarily rude to me,
oh, of course,
then I will talk about it. But generally, I think most businesses who engage me, they are aware that, okay, we're dealing with somebody whose mouth is like this with backhanded sassiness, you know, according to Khalees. Like, we better be prepared.
Yeah. But I like it though because like your commentary is a thing that like kind of drew me to watch your videos in the first place because I love food.
Yep.
But again, like even when your favorite food reviewer, you might have different opinions, right? Because
Correct.
everyone's taste is different. But what makes me want to go and try it? Like if you're just telling me everything is nice, then I'm back to the whole, oh, is it like Instagram aesthetic? Does it look nice? Then I'll go and try lah. If it just
True.
doesn't look nice, then what's the point, right? But with your commentary, it's like, okay, I can get it. Like this is probably something I will like. And like now I kind of know your taste. So if I like a certain thing that you always like, there's a big percentage of like a very high chance that I will also like it.
Yes.
So I think that's what kind of bonds you with your audience. You are so open about who you are, how you feel, how you know, what you like and what you don't like. And people can relate to that. And now they know, okay, so if Ceddy likes this, I will like it. If he doesn't like it, I might still like it. So I'm going to try it anyway.
Yes,
You know?
I always remind people at the end of the day, a review is just a review. If you have a functioning brain, you can, interpret what's good for you and not. Please use that and make your own judgment. I am not, the ultimate verdict, because sometimes people be like, how dare you say it's good, or how dare you say it's not good? Hey, hello, we all have different taste bud lah, I will be very objective. Like for example, let's just say, when it comes to fried chicken, what's supposed to taste like fried chicken? If it tastes like something else, I probably would have pointed that out, right? And also another thing is, just because I always appear honest doesn't mean that I have to bash or trash talk, as some people expected that to happen all the time, which I don't think is fair. If the food is good, then it's good lah.
And even if it's not good, like you say, you don't need to trash talk. There's a way to like say it, right?
Right.
Like you don't need to like go out and be like, oh, I want them to close down. This food sucks,
Exactly. And I don't think I have said or done anything like that. So I mean, I don't want to go that route, because like I said, it can damage somebody's reputation or business for good. And you'll be surprised that I'm dealing with people who will tell me, even though I think my commentary is basically very mild, there are people who are like, do you know when you say all that, right? You are not giving them to improve. You're not giving them chance to improve. You're not being fair to them. You should do this, you should do that. I'm like, chill. What you get is just like the 1% of me. If I want to be really, really harsh, I would have said more.
I don't know whether you agree, but one of the things that I hate is always people are like, oh yeah, but whatever it is, we need to support local. We need to support small business. Like, it's not. Like, if you're good, you will succeed. If not, I'm not blindly supporting for no reason.
Yes, you are very right. In fact, right, I saw people commenting, you cannot expect us to support a local product if they are not of a certain level. We cannot blindly support something. Like you said, it's not that I don't want to support local products, but sometimes they just are not on that level to provide good services. And if I'm being frank here, sometimes local products can be very expensive.
Yes.
Outfit. Let's talk about clothes. I understand they don't have a factory, so they cannot mass manufacture clothes and all. And because of that, we have to pay the so expensive price. And then when you go to brand's outlet, you buy 3 t-shirts for 50 ringgit, and a local merchant will sell you for like 150 for a piece of a shirt.
Yeah.
And I understand why it has to be that price, but we can't always splurge like that.
Yes. And I think you expect people to support, but you also have to understand that maybe people can't afford it.
Correct.
People want to support, but how?
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, everything is a trade. What are they getting back in return? Like every single thing is a trade. If I'm paying you this much money, I expect to get this much in return. But if you're giving me
something that you can get elsewhere
for like much cheaper,
yeah. I mean, Malaysian landscape, right, when it comes to this whole way of judging what is valuable for them, is always the price first. It's hardly, it's handmade. I've dealt with so many merchants, right, or clients, restaurant owners. They are very proud that their food is handmade, imported from some countries. Or our product is super fresh. We ship our lobster, right, in this condition. Nice. Good job. Because of that, your price is like 5 times more than what other people are selling. Unfortunately, you will lose out.
Yeah.
That's not to say people won't appreciate that. There are people who, like me, I still go to those kind of places once a while. But if you ask me, will I choose that over chap fan? Come on.
Yeah, your everyday meal, right? Like, we're not made of money over here. Like,
I
we have to
go
think
for chap fan. The chap fan lady won't tell me that she imported the fish from Alaska.
Also, at the end of the day, it looks good for your marketing. You imported it, it's handmade, whatever. But does it translate to the taste or not?
That's another question. We will have to find out soon.
I feel like it's very hard to say, and like I said, everyone is different. So especially when it comes to like reviews of anything, like for me, if I go for like a food review, I don't do it often because I don't. There's a lot of things. I'm a very picky eater.
Okay.
So but when I do go, I feel like you can always tell if I'm raving about it. That means I really liked it. If I tell you, hey, you can get this here, you pandai lah.
You rave your favorite place. I don't,
I am very passionate about the things I like.
Okay, so the thing is, right, there are certain places that we always go. I'm not sharing it here or anywhere else.
Are you gatekeeping the good food?
Of course!
Ceddy!
Then I have to wait because of what I say. Then people go there and then they will, I have to wait. My waiting time is longer and then sometimes the food will run out. And I'm like, you know what? I found this place. I'm just going to keep it to myself. I won't share. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sad. Like, so you're telling me there are more nice places that I could have been going, but you just don't want to tell me?
You are right. But I do not reveal that yet. Unless you ask me privately, maybe I'll tell you. But the thing is that, sometimes you just have to protect your own favorite place. And also, let's be real. Not everybody is equipped to handle that kind of crowd.
True.
Every business owner will contact me and say, please, not every lah. I exaggerated. There are some like, Ceddy, can you please viralkan my place? I said 2 things you have to remember. 1, you cannot manufacture virality. It is very natural. If it happens, it happens. And 2, can you cope after you become viral?
Yes.
There are a lot of businesses that ended up serving very bad quality food or their service just become very bad because they just can't cope.
Yeah.
And then because of that, it's going to have a very bad effect to me because people will be like, Ceddy, that day you say it's nice. Now I go there, right? It's so crowded. I cannot find a place to sit, even though it's not my fault. The service is bad. And then the person will have a problem telling me like, you know what, after your video, I cannot handle, I don't have enough manpower. But something you have to think of. Not everything deserves to go viral.
Yeah, I think especially in like 2022, everyone's so obsessed with the word viral. I mean, it's a good thing, like more people knowing your brand and like as a content creator, especially like if you go viral, like your platform immediately explodes. But can you handle it or not? Like even as a content creator, don't say a business with service, you got manpower, you can handle the quality of the food or not. As a content creator, if you blow up and you are not ready for that kind of attention, that kind of responsibility to be consistent, responsibility to be honest in your work, it's gonna kill you. Like, like people are harsh on the internet, as you very well know.
You can rise very fast and you can plunge very fast as well. Everyone is so obsessed with the word viral. And look what happened. We manifested the virus COVID. You see lah. You see lah.
That one definitely went viral.
That one went viral. You see lah. You could have just keep quiet, Now everyone viral. So then you one case. And then now a new variant. We cannot catch a break. But you're right about the part where some people, they like to be viral. They want to be the overnight sensation. Really? You want to be an overnight sensation? Don't you want to have that longevity? I don't know. I'm doing it for the long run because I'm like, for me, it's like I want to make sure that at the end of the day, whatever I do, it's going to have like a long-term effect. People will remember me for, he's done this, as opposed to, she's only known for that one dance or that one commentary and then she became irrelevant.
Yeah, I think people always misjudge. I think this is the thing with, like, previously it was celebrity, right? People always think like, oh, celebrities have the glam life. Like, life is easy. You make a lot of money. All you have to do is look pretty. But there's so much more that goes behind it. And that's the same with like content creators today, because content creators are the celebrities of 2022.
Yep.
And one thing that people don't realize is people will support you while you're on the way to the top. But once you're there, everybody just wants to tear you down. Everyone's just waiting for that fall moment. And that's just human nature. But can you handle it? Because you handle it very well.
Okay, so the thing is that I look like I handled it very well. But that comes with tears, lots of sleepless nights. I'm not even exaggerating. You say, oh, I look like I handle it well, right? I'm telling you this, therapy helps. I invest on a therapy session, multiple therapy sessions, and I talk to my therapist about haters. I tell them, this is what is going on, he has to spend his time explaining to me like, it's not about you, it's about them. And if you are being mad about these people, it's like you are drinking poison and you expect them to die, which is a very good analogy, But yeah, it's not easy. A lot of people look at celebrities or content creators. I've had people telling me, your life's so easy, all you need to do is record video. I hate that so much. Like, how do you feel if I say, you know what, Calista, all you do is to just, speak?
I get that all the time. My answer is always, then you come and do it then.
Exactly.
because I used
Exactly.
to, before I was on radio, I used to host events.
Yeah.
And I was hosting with a group of dancers.
Okay.
And they were always like, oh, it's easy, what? You just talk only. We have to like dance. We have to like prepare, practice everything. I was like, okay. And because I also have my petty side that is very alive and well, when we were hosting an event, I would just shove the mic in their face, ask them a question and shove the mic in their face. And then they would realize they don't know how to talk. Then they panic.
Yep.
Then after the event, I would always ask them, so was it easy?
Oh
Then they
my
stopped.
God, I live for your pettiness. Oh my God. Sometimes you just have to I wouldn't say teach them a lesson, but to let them realize that at the end of the day, if somebody makes it too easy, it's because they have spent so much blood, sweat and tears making it happen.
Yes.
If I don't have my editor, if I don't have my manager with me, I will still struggle, At the end of the day, it's all about the right people. It's all about the right attitude at work. People say, oh, you record only, correct lah. I record, yes. Yeah, but then who comes up with the idea on the commentary? Because I don't just record video. If let's say a client engages me, it's not about me putting out a nice video anymore. It's about how I can make people want to visit and try their business, because at the end of the day, that's what they are engaging me for.
So when we come to this, right, that's actually something I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
So how is the whole process? Like, I know a lot of times you pay yourself and review the
Yes.
place, but if a client came to you and asked you, hey, can you review my restaurant? Like, what is the process from start to finish for you?
So the first thing is you gotta have a manager who is
Very
a
important.
filter to. Because the thing is that if people have access to me, and I have a very soft spot, let's be real here. If I could, I want to help everybody, but that is not possible, and that is not fair to people who actually want to pay for my services. And they will always reach out to my manager. Then my manager will do his due diligence to maybe look at their social media. Sometimes you have to be fair. Just because you run a business doesn't mean, number one, you are ready, and number two, you don't look clean.
Okay,
And that is something that we have seen a lot. Like, it doesn't look hygienic for us to even, you just know that if I was to go there, it's gonna be a problem. If it's a yes, then we will go there, and then I have an editor and PA who will shoot the video. And I think prior to all of that, I think the minute my manager tells me about this place, I think that's when we will start to brainstorm an angle for them. What are we going to talk about? Oh, everybody sells burger. Correct. So what makes this burger store better than the rest, or what makes them better than the competitor? That's something that I have to think about. And then the commentary, what to highlight, and then she will edit it, my editor will edit it, and there's the content.
Okay, so this is the edit now, right? So if we take it back to when the first time you started doing this.
Yes.
Like, you didn't have this team.
Yeah.
So how did you start going about it?
So back then, manager will have to play videographer role. The hardest part is when I have to sit in front of my computer and edit the videos myself. Because that's when you will have to say, oh no, TikTok only, the attention span of somebody is so low. You have to make sure that the hook is good, and then the video is kept within 1 minute and a half. So you will start to cry because you would have recorded a 10-minute video.
Yeah.
And then you have to start trimming them one by one. And then to scale it down to 1 minute, and you're like, oh my God, what about the good parts that I'm supposed to finish it? So back then, I would spend 4 hours on a 1 minute video, and people don't know that.
Yep.
They were like, all you do is to just shoot the video. Editing, you don't think like, huh? And then who's the one typing the subtitle? And I make sure that my short videos have subtitles because I want to do it for the deaf community. But that's the thing. If I don't have a PA or an editor now, right, I would have struggled a lot, because what she does essentially is she will take out all the parts and I won't see it. So she will send me the part where she would have like, okay, so this is going to be the video that you will have to add your commentary on. And I'll be like, oh, I didn't know that the good parts were taken out, or I will forget about it. So yeah, she makes my life easier.
Yeah, I get that. Like, I hate editing. Mine is mostly like audio, but it's like, but I don't want to take this out.
Exactly. Like, after this podcast, right, you're going to have to take out some parts, but it's so good, but for the sake of a podcast,
Oh, that's why I also do not edit my own audio or videos. Like, I mean, TikTok is my own, but like, if I film videos, I definitely spend the money for somebody else to do it, because if not, it's just going to sit in my hard drive forever.
Exactly.
I'm not going to touch it.
Exactly. And then you'll think about like 4 hours sitting there just like taking some parts out, and then you have to add transition. That some people will say, can you please stop using the transition because it makes my head spin? And like,
And that's also the thing, right? Like, the more people that watch your videos, the more opinions you have to take into account. And the more people think they are entitled to give you an opinion.
Exactly. Everybody wants to be my video editor. You shouldn't use this transition. It spins. Oh, what happened to your video? Why is there no transition? Oh my God.
You can't please everybody, yeah.
Like, at one moment, you're okay with it. Another moment, you're not okay with it. So, I don't know. I'm just going to do my thing. Just stick with the fact that, okay, being aesthetic is not my route. Or my intention anymore. It's about being informative for you to make a decision whether you want to go there or not. That's my job.
So, did you first blow up on TikTok, or were you doing content before TikTok existed?
I was a live streamer on Twitch first. I play game and I stream myself playing games, and I built quite a solid community. But those are outside Malaysia. They are Americans and Europeans. They're quite proud about it. And then I started trying to vlog on YouTube. Flop so
really?
hard. Flop. Like, I even invested on a good camera, which is exactly this two. And then I had a editor. That time I hired her. I don't think it was a full-time job. It was like a part-time job to edit my video. She did her best. We did our best. Flop. And then I was like, oh my God, I don't want to be just, see, the thing about me is I don't like to be put in a box. I don't want to be just known as a streamer. I want to be a content creator where I do everything. So I tried vlogging, I flopped. And then my friend said, try lah, TikTok. I said, you ridiculous. TikTok is full of children, all this nonsense challenge. That time they had this autism challenge. It's so bad. It went viral because people were acting like, they do the stereotype.
Oh my, maybe this was before I got the app.
Yes. And then they were doing the licking the toilet seat nonsense.
Oh, okay. This was definitely before I got it because I was like, yeah, I'm never getting this app.
Yeah, I would never get this app because I was like, you're disgusting. And then my friend said, no, there are people who use TikTok for very educational content. There are old people there like you. Excuse me. What do you mean? What do you mean there's old people there? So my friend said, try, you can, try. So I said, okay, fine. And the thing about me is I don't like long form content because I feel like if I want to tell you something, hey, Calista, you want to go eat this place or not? Just go there. The price is like that. Kao tim. I don't want to be like, do you know a long time ago, I was sitting in my room craving for this roti canai. No need, right? So I think I'm quite good at making short form content. And then I woke up and the first video is not even about the first viral video. It's not even about food. It was Aurum Theatre, Jesse.
Oh, okay.
Because you know why? I went to United States. I wasn't impressed by their cinema. But our cinema is so much better with all the beds and all the food that you can choose. So I wanted to show my American friends that what we have here. And then I woke up to so many comments, local people saying like, bang, bila you nak bawa I ke sini bang. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? Like, there are so many comments about, Malaysians commenting. At first I was like, oh no, Malaysians have found me. Oh my God.
Were you worried at that point?
Of course. As somebody who is obviously sounding very masculine. Why do you laugh? And, the way I present myself is super, masculine. I get bullied a lot when I was in high school. So,
high school was horrible for everyone though, like seriously.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing that you associate yourself with local people. And I was so worried that Malaysians will say the same thing to me, like what I have to hear back in those days. But there are people who are like, oh, we really like the way you comment. Why don't you try to do food hunting for us? So I said, oh wow, when there's a demand, let's just try. And I did it and I really enjoyed my time finding food. I mean, we have to eat anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, that's how it leads to me sitting here with the sweet Calista hosting the C Word, or else you would have seen me.
True, but I feel like I've talked to so many people so far, right? Like I was talking to you earlier on, this is season 4. And I've talked to all types of content creators, and it's really hard to pinpoint how it works. Because like you said, this TikTok thing, there's a reason why people like your content. It's because you're good at what you do. But at the same time, the same person flopped on YouTube. Like, why? Why does that happen? It's really hard to kind of pinpoint. Is it luck? Is it like algorithm, the chance that people saw you? You know what I mean? Like, how would you define being able to look for that success for like people who want to start out content creating but so far haven't been able to find their footing?
So the first thing is you need to pray. I'm not trying to be religious here, okay? I'm not trying to tell you to stray away from whatever, your religion, okay? I joke a lot because when you put out your content, you pray to who? Your algorithm. Okay? As TikTokers, You have to pray that your video lands on somebody's For You page.
True.
Or else, people who follow you won't even see your content. And that's so weird when you think about it. That's so weird. Like, your followers are supposed to see your content, but they don't. I've had so many people that, long time I never see your content already. I was like, that is the worst thing you want to hear from somebody.
Actually, you know what? I saw your content so much more before I hit the follow button than after I hit the follow button. But that's the thing with TikTok. I've also found that's where you see people with millions of followers, and then suddenly like they're getting millions of views, and out of nowhere, for no reason at all, they get like 3,000 views on a video.
Yeah. That happens so often. So in a way, I'm quite blessed because some people will be like, oh my God, you have like 1 million followers. I'm not even 1 million. I don't even hit a million. But the views have been consistent. So it's okay for me, to be honest. And praying to algorithm is one thing. And you mentioned luck. I think luck plays a big factor in many things, whether you accept it or not. That's not to say that everyone becomes successful because they're lucky. There's a lot of work and hard work that plays into it. Yes, I flopped on YouTube. Maybe because I did not know what people want to watch. Maybe I assumed that Americans will be interested in what happens in Malaysia. But unknown to me, I know that now, people are dealing with pandemic. I tried doing YouTube vlogging during pandemic.
I see.
People have their own worries. The last thing they want is to see this person living their life, So probably that's the reason why it didn't do as well. But I do have a feeling that if I was to get into YouTube again, it would have been a better outcome.
But that's because like you're also leveraging on your current
Exactly.
following, right? So I feel like it's always that, like you said, like whether you want to accept it or not, luck is it plays a big part. I mean, the fact that you speak the way you speak is lucky because everyone's born with different talents, right? And this just happens to be your talent.
I always tell people to embrace your insecurities and things that you hate. Because I hated my voice for the longest time. I didn't really want... In fact, having a podcast was a goal back then. Not even putting myself on camera because I was so scared. You know, I just have to say something and people have an issue with it, let alone showing my face. So I didn't want to be on TV. I don't want to be on videos. I used to dream about being a YouTuber back then when those, YouTubers are popping. But I was so scared. I was always held back by my own insecurities and fear. So I didn't do anything until I tried live streaming. Yeah, granted, I got a lot of hate because of how I present myself. While there are people who don't like me because of things that I cannot control, there are people who appreciate me. And that's why I've been doing so many things. Some people say, Ceddy, you are everywhere. Correct lah. I'm 34 this year. In many ways, I came into the content creation scene quite late. Nowadays, 16 years old are already superstars having millions of followers just by doing silly dance or say some funny things on the internet. I feel that my years, my childhood or my youth were robbed by my own insecurities and fears. I didn't do anything because of all these things. And finally, when I got to do it, I do it right and I got the support from people. This is just the beginning. All or not, never mind lah.
I mean, we were having this conversation just before we started to hit record, right? Like, why do people want to put an age limit on things?
Exactly.
Because I feel like, who says like life needs to end when you turn a certain age? Who says you can't do things just because you're a certain age? Like, if you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. Like, it doesn't matter how old you are.
Exactly. You know, it's so sad because even if I look at like, people, agencies looking for commercials. Age limit, we have to be below 30, Even though I look young.
It's true.
Okay, I look younger. Thanks, doctor. But yeah, essentially, I take care of my skin and I look young. But because of the age, and when they look at my IC, 34, cannot lah. So if I'm not allowed to do what I think, I should do, and then it's a cruel industry because especially women. I was watching a documentary the other day about TVB dramas, Hong Kong stars. They were blatantly saying it. If you're an actress and you're 40 years old, you are no longer that it girl. And that's so sad.
Yeah.
Even though you look fine. Yeah, 40 years old, so bye.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, I had this issue like way before I even started hosting. I used to go for castings for commercials, right? And because they judge the age that you put on the form.
Yeah.
So at the time I was like early 20s. They're like, okay, so we'll put you in this group. And then I got called for like this casting, like young mother or young pregnant lady. Then I got there. They're always like Cannot lah. This one promoting teen pregnancy because I look so much younger than my age.
Oh my god! Oh my god! That's what I'm trying to say. So if they judge me because I'm 34, they probably will put me in like a, manly
Like
man,
CEO, yeah.
level. And then this child-looking, infant-looking man walks in. What? You're 34, but you don't look like what? So I feel like we are both trapped in oblivion. That we are in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
We can't fit in anywhere.
And this has been for so long, I don't know why these boxes haven't been broken, especially now, because I feel like everybody is younger now, like compared to like the older generation, right?
Yes.
Like people turning 40, 50 still look and act as if they're like in their 20s and 30s.
Jojo Siwa.
Oh, I don't know. Jojo Siwa is another one, lah.
Yeah.
That one, she still looked like she was
maintained
12.
that one for that persona for so long.
Yeah, but see, now that she's changed, she wanted to grow up.
Cannot.
No one wants to pay attention anymore.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, like society is forcing everyone to stay young, but at the same time still using the boxes of the older generation, whereas this box, this age limit, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I feel like it's something that needs to change. Like, who cares how old the food reviewer is?
Exactly.
If the food is good, who cares?
He's not good on TV. Okay, you want somebody that's way younger than me to be on TV doing all those hosting stuff. But let's be real, we are way more experienced for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
We do our thing way longer. But based on somebody's age, appearance, and to give them a job, and then you're going to complain that they didn't do it well.
Yes.
Sendiri cari pasal lah, that one.
I've been saying the same thing, like, like they always say like, oh, we need a certain age group. But then, what about the old souls? Like, especially like now, I feel like a lot of Gen Z, they like older music, for instance.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to judge that? It's very hard. That's why all the older songs keep going viral on TikTok.
Exactly. You, me.
Oh my god, like even this, I don't know whether you know the song. What's it called? Until I Found You, Steven Sanchez.
No, I don't.
It was viral on TikTok a while ago. It sounds like it's from the 50s or 60s. I legit thought it was an old song that was going viral. This guy is like 19.
What?
And he's making a song that sounds like it's from the 50s.
He's smart.
Exactly. But that's what I mean. Like, you can't judge now, because even when you say things are coming back, if you walk into like I don't want to say names, but like a fashion brand right now, it's not like, oh, the 90s are back, the 80s are back. It's everything. You've got something that looks like it's from the 60s, so from the 90s, from the early 2000s. There's no borders in 2022.
Yep,
and it's very strange.
I think things are changing right now. Just like podcasting, I remember people telling me, "Oh, podcast, who listens to podcasts?" Yeah, at one point it was a little bit dead.
Yes.
Now it's back.
Yes.
We can't explain all these phenomena. So it's time for people to stop with the nonsense like age limit, your look. You have to look a certain way. Your hair has to be black, no red. Like,
you're setting boundaries and rules that don't need to be there, and you're kind of like suffocating what could be.
Exactly.
Because if you look at all the talent that blows up now, it's always people who either look or act different. Nobody wants to be the same anymore.
I don't want to be the same as any other food reviewer. It's not to say that they are doing mediocre. It's not what I mean. But the thing is that I have a vision of what I want to do or what I want to be in the future. So the last thing I want is to blend in. I hate to blend in. But if you really want to stand out and do your thing as a content creator, you really want to go viral or whatever, you got to be remembered for something.
Yes. And okay, I know we've been talking a lot about this. I didn't even look at my questions because this was such a good conversation. But before this gets too long, I do want to ask you. So you mentioned earlier on, oh, Ceddy, you're everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's because you are someone who is not afraid to tell people what you want.
Yep.
You're not afraid to be like, I think you should put me here. I think you should, work with me for this. So do you have any tips on approaching things that you want to do, without being embarrassed or shy or be are they going to think I'm desperate,
Okay. So I think the first thing is you got to have the self-awareness that you can deliver that. Meaning to say, if I know for a fact that I can host a show, I will ask the person, hey, maybe consider or call my manager. In a joking way, of course. I'm not going to press on, because another rule is if you don't ask, you will never get. If they think you're desperate, so be it. Are you not? We are all desperate in some ways. Let's be real here. And of course, you gotta have the self-awareness to know what you can deliver for the job. If there's a cooking show and they say we need a chef, I won't. Yeah, I say I like to be everywhere, but I will never volunteer because I can't cook. If somebody says I want a sewing, no. But if you say hosting, acting, singing, try lah. You know what's the worst that can happen? They don't call me back again, no?
True. So were you always like this, or did you have to like the first time you wanted to ask for something, ask for a client, or ask for like a show, or ask for an interview, for instance?
Yeah.
Did you have to like take time to like, I'm gonna do this?
So fortunately for my career, I did not ask a restaurant to pay me to engage because I always believe that if I want to ask means I have to pay.
Okay.
It shouldn't be the way where, just because I like, for example, KFC, I can't go to KFC and say, pay me to talk about you. KFC will be like, can you walk away? You're in my way. Hello? So I don't do that. Because of my videos, I always feel like to content creators out there, your social media is now your portfolio. So don't be ashamed to put out things that can show people what you can do. Then there will be people who will be more interested and more confident in getting you lah. So for me is, after seeing what I can do, I start getting invitation to do maybe hosting gig, acting, being interviewed by people. And from there, because like for example, let's say I'm talking to you today, I can be like, hey, after this, you know anybody that wants a guest, just put my name lah.
Okay.
But that's also whether you want to help me lah. If you feel like you cannot, like Ceddy cannot talk at all, then better don't. Then okay. But if you have confidence in me, sure.
And it's always a two-way street, right? Like, I feel like it's true what they say. Sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly.
And if you can build a good network of people who believe in you and believe in what you do, that will always be the most valuable part of your a content creation is a business, right? So
it is. That's why they say the first step is to have a self-awareness. What are you really good at? Then you have to be confident in what you can deliver. Then only you pitch yourself. Don't go and menyusahkan your referral. If today I can't talk and I say, Kalista, please put me on other podcasts. And then I go there and I ruin everything. You get in trouble.
Yeah.
My phone will not be ringing anymore. So
for someone who wants to do content creation and is struggling to decide on a niche, for instance, like your niche, it was gaming. And then it became food.
Yeah.
And now it's like so many different branches of things. But it started with being known for one thing first, right? What advice would you give that person to decide on what they should start?
Okay. This is a very unconventional advice. Some people will tell you to look at some creators you like and then emulate them. I think it's a dangerous thing because the minute you emulate somebody, you lose the flair in you. To me, very simple. Try everything. Try everything. It's like throw something on the wall to see what sticks and then go with it. Because your audience will tell you, I think I prefer you to do this than this. That's not to say that their opinion about you is the ultimate answer. But from there, you can gauge, like, for example, I started doing food because there was a demand to do that.
Yes.
But if I today make skits on TikTok, right, it probably won't do very well. Some people told me, like, which is a very good praise, compliment. Oh, your video, right, is a documentary. Okay.
Okay.
So if today I start acting skit like, I tried sometimes as a filler content because sometimes no content it probably won't do as well as I hoped.
So do you do TikTok trends on your page?
No. I'm so bad at it. And it's so bad because TikTokers, right, when they see each other, right, they have this problem that is, Ceddy, let's do this TikTok trend. Let's start the turn. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. And then they will be putting, okay, I put the camera in front of me already, Okay, so you need to do the I'm like, oh my God, please.
I've recently been in this situation. I'm like, I don't know how to tell you, but I am not a good dancer. This TikTok is not gonna work.
That's the thing. All these young TikTokers, I know you all have the moves. I know you are spontaneous. They can put in the 3, 2, 1, let's go. Turn. I'm like, old people need to breathe. Okay? You need to relax. Y'all can go and start busting into a move on cue. But that was me 14 years ago. Not now.
So do you still do like collabs with TikToks?
I do. But usually I'm the one that ruins the trend. And then they're like, Ceddy, come on. I say, what do you expect? I already told you I'm not good at it. But they try. So eventually my collab would be, let's eat together, lor.
True.
Yeah, let's eat
Stick
together.
to what you're good at, right?
Yeah, let's just eat together lah. You want to collab? Okay, let's go eat together. Then I will ask you in my video what you think and all. Let's just stick with that lah. Because if you ask me to do the latest, I cannot. I give up.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about going out for food for a very long time. And collab aside, I think the first time when we go out to eat, can you take me somewhere that you're gatekeeping?
Which Zap Fun place will I think about?
Zap Fun. So you're gatekeeping all the Zap Fun, is it?
Of course! And then I go there and everybody go there and the chicken finish how?
I cannot.
I also cannot. I'm not gonna share. I will talk privately lah.
Okay, so I bet he's gonna ban me, no phones allowed. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much, Ceddy. This has been a great conversation.
Yes.
I've got so much more to ask you. I might have to ask you back for another episode. But
Yes.
for this time, I think we've gotten everything that we wanted out, other than the fact that you have also just started your own podcast, right?
Yes, I'm actually your colleague in a way. It's so funny. I am doing a podcast called Let's Talk Marketing with Ceddy.
Yet another thing on his list of things that he's good at.
Exactly. Ayo, Ceddy, you are everywhere. Yeah lah, of course lah, have to lah. You want to survive like that lah. And I will be talking about marketing lah. What else? Okay. And I know to some people it can be a very intimidating subject. But trust me, I always make it fun. I try to make it very easier for people to digest and understand. Can be useful for you. It's not just for business owners. Marketing is for everyone. How you market yourself is important as a content creator.
This is full circle, We started the podcast talking about personal branding.
Yeah! Look at how we close the loop.
Yes, this is a good segue, guys. Good segue.
Good segue, correct.
So the first episode isn't out yet, right?
No, it's gonna be late July.
Late July. And it's going to be called?
Let's Talk Marketing with Ceddy. That's how lazy I am.
Creative.
You are creative with the C word. I should have. I have the M word. But no, it's just Let's Talk Marketing with Ceddy. Let's call it as it is.
Okay, and it's going to be available everywhere that you can find this podcast. So if you're listening to this podcast, you can find Ceddy's podcast as well at the same place. But as a closing, what is one gem that you can give me about marketing?
One gem, you can give you as a business or a content creator or a person.
Well, since it's a C word, as a content creator lah.
Oh, okay. As a content creator, what a gem, right, is find out why people should watch you as opposed to content creators that you hate.
Wow. Don't be like them.
Don't be like them, okay? No, just kidding. But use your own strength and utilize your strength. Always utilize your strength. Deep down what is your gift. Like I'm pretty sure you know your gift. Talking, hosting, use that.
Imposter syndrome is real.
Ooh.
Yeah. So how would you, if that's your gift, but you feel like you're not good at it, So
my therapist advised me on when it comes to imposter syndrome, right? My therapist said to me that you have no choice but to believe in yourself and know that you have somehow changed people's life. You have to believe in that because it's gonna be there. Everybody will deal with that one way or another, but you have to eventually believe and own up to it. Once you own up to it, magic happens.
Okay.
Yes.
So with those words of wisdom, thank you so much, Ceddy, for coming on the C Word.
Thank you.
See you next episode.
Bye.
The C Word with Callista.